Alright. Let's go. It's me, Puddle Cakes. And I'm here, still with a cold. But I'm going to make a small little video on this KVK. Talk a little bit about my kills and deaths, my 4 or 5 main matchups that I used for the field, why I use them. I did spend a smidge on this KVK to get my size up, my tech up enough to be able to compete a little bit more, because I knew we were missing some people. Like, I know Samuk was busy with work. Great guy. He got a new job or a new position. It happens. Fat Hands had an acquisition of a new company. He was also super busy. So like, I felt myself to help push over the limit and help the company, the kingdom. I also needed to push forward. So first of all, my kill stats. So this KVK, I think I ended up having, it was right around like 2.5 or 2.4 million kill points. So I ended up getting about 500, maybe 550 million kill points. This KVK was brutal. It was hard to get kill participation points because you're basically, there's a huge murder ball, and then there's a huge murder ball. So you're just going and just fighting. I mean, you go look at like Baba's videos or Shinchi's videos. There's just like one murder ball after one murder ball, and you're getting slim pickings. It's very difficult to get those kill points, but like when you broke off into other alliances and you started to spread people out a little bit, it allowed for that more points. I think on one day I actually had 9 million kills because I went to 412 exclamation point, and it just pushed me way over the edge. I was just destroying. But when you're able to go against big people in 1401 like Rogue or was it Yakumeister or something like that, like when you're able to go 1 versus 1 rather than like a 10 versus 3, it's a little bit better. You get better trades. So I'm not going to go over my gear or my equipment today because I've gone over it a couple times. I basically have 2 full archer sets crit, and I have umpteen accessories crit. It's like, even as a joke here, I was running around with this. But okay, so for my main setups, this KVK, and the reason why I did these setups, I'll go over it a little bit. But for my main 4 marches or 3 marches, my main 3 marches were, I had Cyrus and Ramses. So I had Cyrus and Ramses almost always together. The reason why is because you get that, I don't care about that equipment. So people I don't think they read this right, but it just says causes them to take 20% increased additional damage for 3 seconds. That doesn't mean that it's only by your targeted troops. And I believe I've tested this a couple of times, and it actually makes the target take more additional damage. So if I'm running with something else that deals a dot, that target actually takes that dot damage too. The reason why I put him with Ramses is because Ramses is just adds that extra tankiness. And like when I put them together and my 3 marches are on the field, I was shredding. Now keep in mind, this is like the first pass when I only have 5 marches. 1 march is going to rallying, 1 march is going into defending flags, and then 3 marches are field marches. So I had those 2. My other one was, of course, the big bad Monitori and Ethelfled. Now, obviously for AoE reasons, I had to have them together. And then, believe it or not, I actually used, where are you? I used Sid and YSG quite a lot, quite a bit in this KVK, because I was rarely leading for most of the time, so my Gilgamesh was actually taken up, same with my Nebuchadnezzar. Now, this is for the first pass. The second pass, I think I ended up getting 6 marches, and I started to open it up a little bit. I wasn't rallying as much, so I was allowed to kind of just keep my broad spectrum up. So I was actually using Trajan Constantine at this point, because I only needed 1 march, so Trajan Constantine, because you got that skill damage, and then I think people really sleep on Constantine but they don't realize that, boom, attack reduction, 40%, man, 40%. It's insanity. So I would throw this together, and basically this would be my buff and debuff group. It was just sweet. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked the setup. So then my second march was basically my Cyrus. Actually, at this point, I don't think I was rallying much. So I was doing Nebuchadnezzar, YSG, Cyrus, Ramses. I was actually using a mandatory Gilgamesh, and I'll explain why. Because if you have a horn on a mandatory and the full support tree and everything, or the archer / support tree, you can actually get Gilgamesh to basically keep up that health debuff every 5 seconds. So you are keeping it up. It's like 5.5 turns. Come on, just give me a break. But it's close. If a horn procs at the right time, it can be 5 turns. But in the long run, I have that health reduction up all the damn time. And it makes everyone else's damage just so much bigger. So, like, for me, that was just massive. Plus, like, not many people really attacked the mandatory because they were basically assuming she was with Artemisia the whole time. And then I ran actually Artemisia with Tamiris because it's an amazing setup. So those were my like main 5-6 marches at that time. Once we started breaking off and I wasn't rallying at all anymore, I was actually doing Richard Joan, back to the old school, 5-5-2-2. To show you guys that I'm not a huge spender, 5-5-2-2. Jeez. Oof. But it works. You want to know why it works? Because all that matters is this thing right here. Damage reduction 30% for 2 seconds. 2 seconds, that's 2 turns. Who cares? And it's 5 targets. It's just so good. Like, I really hope in the future that calves and archers get an opportunity to have something that debuffs damage or attack. It's something we really don't have. It's unfortunate because, I want to do 5 full marches of archers all the time and I can't. But it's pretty insane. So I'll use Richard Joan. Now people are like, well, Joan's not as good as Trajan. Trajan and their skills and their rage gen, they overlap. It's like, for one, the skill isn't just about rage. It's also about these. Troops gain 30% increased health for infantry. 30% health. So for 4 seconds, that's mind-boggling. 30% defense for calves, and 30% attack for archer units. Like, I've done tests with Trajan Constantine and Constantine Joan, and in the long run, my damage was actually higher in archer setups because I feel like with the 30% attack, even though attack is almost too overabundant, whatever. So I used those two. I used the Trajan Constantine still, or no. Yeah. I think I actually didn't use Trajan for a while because we had so many Trajans on the field. I think I did. I think I did when I went to Richard Joan, and I actually went to Constantine Ethelfled. Sorry. Then I don't edit my videos, so that even sucks more. But so those were my 2 marches, and then my 5 archer marches. So in the long run, I had reduced damage, reduced attack. I had increased skill damage. So I had reduced skill damage that they did. I had increased, and then reduced defense, reduced health, reduced attack again, but it was stacking-ish or overlapping. And then I also had increased skill damage, increased additional damage, reduced I already said defense. Whatever. But with this setup, I basically had this full spectrum between additional damage, skill damage, attack damage, defense, health. I mean, there's just so much into that things were shredding. Oh my gosh, when you have... I mean, I swarmed a city at one point that was 80 million power, and that thing just went... And it's mind-boggling. So, what else can I talk about? I mean, basically, that's kind of what I wanted to go over everyone with. I pushed my power, I think, during the pre-KVK. So my power at one point was like almost 130. I ended up losing right around 4 million troops, 4 million tier 5s, because then I built up some too. Because my strategy is to basically just keep doing all the make troops for the Bastion quests, and that's how I get actually my crystal generation so high without spending astronomical amounts like some people do. Basically just reset, troop build, make troops, Kahar, every day, like all day, 100 times a day if I have to reset it. But if anyone has any questions, let me know. We'll talk over it. I'm going to start doing Olympia a little bit more, and I'll talk a little bit about Osiris League coming up. But Olympia, I've been pugging, so I haven't been doing so well. I don't do groups. I think it's unfair to do groups. But I'll show you guys my setups and what I do to do 4 million damage a game. Stay tuned. So, like I said, any questions, whatnot, see ya. Peace. Love you all. If I can hit the